Every day, a good video is a good mustache. A good mustache is like a background humming, the lighting from background, and an Adonis blue butterfly just flew over the brunt, which is the chief attack of the impact. And you go to Brisbane for the Brahmi, right? And a Brahmi is a native from Birmingham. And the brittle star is an echinoderm. You might not know the breadfruit and flugelhorn. But to break open is to open forcibly. And a bad break does not relate to the Breaking Bad breadwinner who earns the money support of the family, which I never ever was. A nervous system or a bomb, a container with an explosive gas shell, or a bolshi who is a non-cooperative, cooperative. He works in some corporate union territory, right? And inside this corporate there are capillaries, veins, and arteries. And veins are always blue in color, and inside it is red in color. And arteries are always red in color, and inside it is a yellow in color. And capillaries are made of paper. And cloud cuckoo lands. And what is this cloud cuckoo land? It is a fanciful and ideal place. And some Aristophanes from Greek has never even countersunk into the drill bit or the hole, because he never even sent a person to the commentary. And conifers are 5,200 Congolese bust. And it is an artistic concept. It is an artistic concept that distorts the expressionistic perspectives of the arachnids, which are insects and mollusks, and they have exoskeletons and extemporaneous expulsion and expunges and expurgate and exquisite exservisements who are never exploiting the explorative possibilities of explosions and explosive exponents and exponential exports, which are expulsive expunges of expressive expressionism that exposes the expose and style of painting, music, drama, etc., in which an artist or a writer seeks to express emotional experience rather than impressions of the external world, which are espresso trains, which are a fast train at the stop few intervals, and an exquisite former male member hummed forces of the female forces of the collection of the symbols of the expressing of the quantity of the person's facial appearance and intonation of the voice, an example of indicating feeling, the depiction of feeling, movement, etc. in art, conveying of the feeling of expunges and expurgate and dialectations and dialectics, which is also plural and multilingual and dialectic. And dough, purling dough from Kuwait, and dialysis, often used in cases of kidney failure to remove waste products from blood by diffusion through a semi-permeable membrane. Smaller waste product molecules pass through the membrane into a solution called dialysate. For dialysate for disposal. Larger molecules such as those of red blood cells and proteins are retained in hemodialysis. Blood from an artery passes through a coiled tube and back into the vein. Davy Jones is a Davy lamb, and a dawdle, a walk slowly and idly. So, dingy or dingy or dingy or dignitize or digitize or diminuendo or dingy is a dirty looking drab dull color dinginess, which is called a dinghy is applied to different types of small pleasure boat, but is mostly commonly used to refer to a sailing dinghy, which is a small open boat powered by sail, although there are numerous cases of sailing dinghy, ranging from one suitable for novice sailors, which is a bow, which has a forestay, which has a spreader, which has a mast, which has a cockpit, which has a main sheet, which has a boom, which has a main halyard, which has a rudder, which has a stern, which has a tiller, which has a tiller extension, which has a tow strap, which has a centerboard, which has a shroud, which has a deck, which has a spin maker chute, and it is dimorphic in expressionistic exacerbating exactitude, which is all correct in details, an exact description, a precise of a person tending to precision, demand and enforce payment of money. Exasperate means to irritate intensely, and to exarch means in the Orthodox Church a bishop lower in rank than a patriarch and having jurisdiction wider than a metropolitan of a diocese. And example is a thing characteristic of its kind, and it's illustrating a general rule. A person, thing, or a piece of conduct regarded in terms of its fitness to be imitated or likelihood of being imitated must circumstance or treatment seen as a warning to others, and a person so treated shall make an example of the you, and a problem or exercise designed to illustrate a rule, for example, by way of illustration, evolve and develop gradually by natural process, devise a theory, a plan, etc. intransitive, that is unfold out open into give off gas and heat. From the Latin evolve, we are to unroll, to evolve, to examine, to inquire into the nature of a condition, etc. Look closely, test the proficiency of, check the health of a patient, law of homily, question the accused of a witness in court. From Latin examiner, to weigh, the test, the examinable, to example, the characteristic thing of its kind, illustrating a general rule. And evolution is the process by which living things change over time and adapt to the coordination of the environment. For example, fossils revel in the modern horse evolved from a smaller Hydratherium, while often on about is a smile of a small dog of an evolution can also bring forth the event, and everyone and every man and everybody and every day and again and again and again and again and ever more an evil eye and evince and eviscerate means to empty or deprive of essential concerns, and evocative and tending to evoke and inspire and draw forth from memories and exalt and raise and rank and power and exaggerate and give an impression of a thing exact science, a science admitting of the absolute quantitative precision. Existent means existentialism is a philosophy theory emphasizing the existence of the individual person as a free and responsible agent determining his or her own development, and he is an existentialist. An exit is a passage or a door by which to leave a room, building, etc. The act of going out, the right of freedom to go out, and a place where vehicles can leave, and motorway and major road. An exhalation and an expiration of air, and a puff of breath and a mist and a vapor, and exhale and breathe out, especially air or smoke from the lungs. And exiguous means candy and small, from Latin exiguous, candy. Exiguity means exile, expulsion from the one's native land, or internal exile, native town, etc. Long absence abroad, etc. And especially enforced a three, and a person expelled or long absent from his or her own native country, followed by and from officially expel a person from his or her own native country or town. And from Latin exilium means exilic, means exist, verb intransitive, one having to place the part of the objective reality to a have, being under specified conditions, be followed as exist in the form of three of circumstances, etc. occur, be found, be alive, an existence, the fact of a condition of being or existing, continued being, etc., and to main manner and one's existing or living under adverse conditions of a wretched existence, all that exists based on Latin existent and coming into being existent, existing, actual, current, and existential of her relating to the existence, philosophical, concerned with existence, especially with human existence as viewed by existentialism. And existentialism is a philosophical theory emphasizing the existence of the individual person as a free and responsible agent determining his or her own development. An existentialist is an exit door and a passage of a door by which to leave a room, building, etc., and the act of going out, the right of freedom, or to go out, a place where vehicles can leave, and motorway and a major road, and that departed exiting and going out of a room, etc., and a stage direction. An actor leaves a sudden exit Macbeth, and the Latin literally he or she goes out the exit poll. A poll of people leaving a polling station asking how they were voted. An exocrine means a gland secreting through a duct, and based on Greek Crevenian and Hittite exodus and a mass departure of people, exodus biblical to departure of the Israelites from the Greek Egypt and from Greek Exodus and to Egypt. And officio means officio and adverb and adjective by virtue of one's own office or status. And exogamy means anthropology means marriage of a man outside his own tribe. Biological, the fusion of a reproductive cell from distantly related or unrelated individuals. Exogamous means exogenous and growing or originating from outside. Exogenously means exonerate, often followed by from free or declare free from blame, etc., released from a duty, etc., based on Latin. Exoneration means unburdened. Exoneration means exorbitant, adjective of a price, demand, etc., grossly excessive from the late Latin exorbitant, leaving the track, and exorbitance and exorbitantly.